on my computer?
No, it's like
somebody's friend. It's some, I don't know what that is, but that's what it's.
It sounds like it could be. Try to turn the fan off and see if that helps.
I can't. It's automatic on the computer.
Oh, it's
right. Yeah, it's automatic.
It sound like the fax. It sound like a fax machine.
I know.
Oh no, that's not me then.
Everybody logged in on one screen, right?
Let me try to turn my volume down some. That may help.
Oh. That sounds like a fax machine.
No, it sounds like a fax machine.
Yeah, I don't have a fax machine. I just have
Me
my.
either.
All right,
Well,
so
I mean, I have one, but it's not working. It's not on right now.
it's okay. When we get started, what I'll do is I'll just mute the line and unmute whoever's supposed to speak. Not just remember that you can engage, based on the text message I sent. Just remember, how we're gonna do that. Right?
Is it gone now? Is the sound gone now?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the fan on my computer that's making it.
Oh, okay. Can't do nothing about that.
No. That's all these lights I got. What she said?
I'm laughing at you.
Oh.
You got a whole situation over there. All right. So we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna go ahead and use this last minute to text and to invite anyone in that just needs to recharge, uncuff, feel confident, motivated, have great skin, and just break some things down. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I have a giveaway. I'm sure you guys have something to give away. If not, don't panic. A moment with your coaching will be just enough. We are going to continue this. You guys are part of the first inaugural. Woohoo! Can we get excited? Woohoo!
Marla dancing for us. She the dancer. She the dancer for everybody tonight. Yes. She got her little thing. Yes.
That's good. All right.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I have some, some things already posted. You guys are in the group, so you should have. Do y'all see the live stream? You see the live stream, right?
See it where?
I'm gonna go to my page. Go to the page.
Yeah, it's in the page. So that's what you want to go ahead and share.
Oh, I see it.
Go ahead and share that if you wish. It isn't a closed meeting. It's a way for us to manage. All right. Okay. Righty, ladies. We'll give it a few more minutes. Feels wonderful to me. I'm like, this is my everyday, so I don't even have to complain about being in the house. My complaint is y'all going back to work. When everybody going back to work?
I'm ready now. I'm ready now.
Well, for us extroverts, I'm missing my FaceTime.
Yeah, me too. Me too, Marla. Me too.
The house is good, but after 2 days, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that feels like because I've been still working on the front lines. I have no idea.
Yeah, she's still out in them. She out in the Corona streets.
Yeah, and we appreciate it all. We appreciate it all.
Yes.
I'm like, if there was a way, I'm trying to think of mobile alcohol shops, mobile churches. I'm trying to think of a way for us to continue living and not be so uncomfortable. That's my figure it out.
Right.
We go ahead and share this, and we have about 2 minutes, and we're going to go ahead and get started. This is going to be so much fun. We are uncuffing Corona what?
Woo! Corona what?
Corona who? We don't see it.
Cherie is a mess.
Oh, the noise maker. That is so
yes.
That's hilarious. Oh my God.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started, ladies. Hey, hey, Battle Lockhart. How are you? Hey, Monica, it's good to see you and have you aboard.
That's Tajula, Battle Lockhart. Hey, girl.
Tajula, I know I wasn't gonna be the first person to mention him, but I went to the last one. I knew how to say that one. All right, ladies, go ahead and invite some more friends. Because I'm going to tell you, whether or not you realize it, everyone has a game face right now. Women are a little bit, feeling just a little bit uneasy. So we're going to help them eliminate that. We're going to help them uncuff in every area. It is 7 o'clock. We're getting started. Welcome to the Women's Uncuffed Spring Virtual Edition of our colloquium. We have our colloquium every year. It's a coming together of the people, the women doing the work, managing the families, putting in work, and managing still to have multiple streams of income and defining success on their own terms. If you are here, it is not by mistake, it is by design. When the world is falling apart, you're going to stand up as a pillar and say, she's ready, right? She's always ready.
Yes,
That's what
Yes.
Uncuffed does, right? Who am I? I am Caprice Smith, the Uncuffed living expert. I'm also a senior director at Mary Kay. Why? Because I said multiple streams of income. You're going to hear more about me and the uncuffing system tonight. But for now, I want to bring in my amazing experts. I'm going to say their first name, and I encourage you to pay attention because we have prizes. But more importantly, you want to go ahead and follow that event page on Facebook. You want to go ahead and share now because we can see everything. We have our mommy eyes on, right? We can see what you're doing. So we want to see you taking notes, asking questions, sharing away, and we're going to reward all of your great behavior. So you're going to hear from an amazing esthetician. This young lady has put her work in to develop her craft. She's very skillful, and she even threw on a face just to give us a sample, right? Just to give us a taste. You're going to hear from Yolanda tonight. She's going to help us uncuff in our lives. And then you're going to hear from Chere Goode. I mean, what can I say? This is an international traveler, a speaker, an author, bestseller. I could go on for 30 minutes, but we ain't come to hear all about Chere. We want to hear about you guys. It suffices to say that this young lady knows about branding and she knows about business. And yes, we have her for an hour. We get to uncuff with her and learn ways to uncuff in our business. And then I want you to look, this woman showed up in her closet. That means she's ready to dress somebody tonight. Miss Marla Fowlkes, she is the girl of the confident. She's a curvy evolutionist. That means I have my curves. I don't just love them. They're constantly evolving. I'm going to show you how to make yours evolve.
That's right. Absolutely.
I heard what she said. You're going to hear what she said, okay? So I get the pleasure to hang out with these beautiful young ladies this evening, all for the purpose of helping you uncuff in your life with Yolanda, your business with Chere, and to really build a solid legacy with Marla. So Yolanda, come on right on in and introduce yourself, honey.
Hello, guys. How's everybody doing? My name is Yolanda Macklin. I am a licensed Maryland esthetician. I have been in the beauty industry for over 25 years. I started when I was 5. And I really enjoy helping people out with their skincare needs and concerns. Right now, I know everybody is focused on a lot of other things, but we don't want to forget about the skin, and our body is covered with it. So my job tonight is to answer any questions as far as problematic skin. I help everyone with corrective skincare. My company is Jovette's Everything Beauty. So I do everything from the skincare to the makeup to anything that relates to a woman, and not just women, to our men as well, becoming beautiful and making them feel better and giving them the confidence they need to go out and attack the day. I know everybody tells you the first thing to skin is making sure that you're, using products, but it's not always products. It's the inside and the outside. So my job today is to take any questions, any concerns, give you guys tips on what it is that you need to do to stay healthy, to have healthy skin, and to make sure that you're feeling your optimum best at all times. So that's what I'm here to do today. So anybody got any questions, just shoot them out there. I am going to do a 30-day challenge for you guys because the most important thing is water. Water. So right now, starting April 1st, we're going to do a 30-day challenge. So I'm going to tell you guys, Chere got her water, Marla got her water, I got my water. I know I got to be cutesy with my little pink glass. Up. And Caprice got her water. So this is what we're going to do. Everyone always confuses how much water we should be drinking. So we should be drinking half of our body weight in ounces. I'm going to tell you guys. Chere got her water, Marla got her water, I got my water. Per day. Somebody's got feedback over there.
One second, honey.
Caprice got her water. So this is what we're going to do. Everyone always confuses how much water we should be drinking. So we should be drinking half of our body weight in water. So what that means is that you take how much you weigh, divide it in half. That's how many ounces of water that you need to be drinking to get healthy skin. Now, there's a little caveat to that. If you are a coffee drinker or a caffeine drinker, like myself, I'm guilty. You want to add 16 ounces, for every 8 ounces of water that you drink in addition. So write that down. So for every 8 ounces of water, you want to do an additional 16 ounces of water a day. Now, this is going to be a challenge for some, because me, it is definitely a challenge. So you can add things like lemon, orange, but you don't want a Crystal Light, does not count as water. Becomes obsolete at that point. Anything artificial, your body processes it as artificial. So water. We want to push that for 30 days. They always say it takes about 30 days to start or stop a habit. We can't continue to do the same thing over and over again and think you're going to get a different result. So the first thing we want to start with is pushing that water. It's also going to help you get all those toxins out your body. It's going to help push those things out. Now, when you do that, you will start noticing maybe that you're breaking out a little bit more. That's normal. Don't stop. Keep going. The next thing is including an exclusive for you skincare regimen for 30 days. So that's where I come into place. So you can email me, you can inbox me later for your private consultation so that I can get you with the correct skincare regimen that you need for yourself. Everybody's skincare is not for you. Your problems are yours, your issues are yours. So let me help you with those things. So starting a morning routine and a night routine, in 30 days, you will see that your skin is going to start changing. As I always say, we're perfect imperfections. So we're going to work on those perfect imperfections. So with that being the case, inbox me. Anybody got any skincare questions that they have for me? Anything that they're concerned about?
To start, and if you could, if you're on the page, say I have next. But I'd like, Yolanda, if you could touch on what the correlation is between beautiful skin, drinking the water, and really uncuffing in your life. Like, how can we use our focus on skincare to control some of those manic and bad thoughts that we're having, especially now in this era?
Everybody has their own issues with their skin, and you cannot be uncuffed 100% if you're not feeling 100%. And it starts with the outward. We can say as much as we want, or we can tell each other as much as we want, oh, that's not the problem, I got a problem too, or that's not that bad. But people cannot honestly be truly uncuffed unless they are living the best life that they have for themselves. And sometimes your skin is the first thing that people see. So although a person may think that you're beautiful in the inside, but on the outside, you may think that you're just looking a mess today. And those little things, like the little spots that are on your face that we all have, like those dark circles that I have covered up today. But those dark circles is something that a lot of my clients have issues with. It is definitely a situation where they feel uncomfortable and they feel like they have to cover up all these things. And some people don't want to go outside without makeup on, and they don't want to, but they don't realize that those things can all be don't want to say go away. They're never going to 100% go away, but they can be fixed and we can work on those things. So with people who have those self-esteem issues, sometimes it starts because they have skincare concerns and issues that they are uncomfortable talking about. So my job is to get them to be comfortable with it, be okay with it, and then learn how to fix it.
That's awesome. And just in working with you, because even though people will look at you and just say, oh, you have flawless this or flawless that, they don't think that it's always better to consult an expert. So with the things that you trained, me being a member of my tribe, I have the privilege of being close enough to you to ask questions. And the information you give, it really does connect to how we should live in our lives.
Absolutely.
I think it's a system to managing your skin. You prioritize it, you identify the problem, and then you rock it out. So if you could just spend just a little bit of time on the process of prioritizing your skin.
So the process is, the first thing you need to, as you said, you need to see a professional, especially if you have those really, really serious concerns. As an esthetician, I am licensed to take care of any type of skin issues like dark circles, aging skin, things like that. There are certain things that I recommend my clients to see a dermatologist or a doctor for that are outside of my scope. But the first thing is identifying, number one, what type of skin you have. And I always ask my clients, the number one question during their consultations is, if I had a wand and I could change one thing about your skin today, what would that be? And everybody's one thing is going to be different. So once we identify what type of skin they have, what are their concerns, not mine, but what are their concerns, then we've already gotten halfway there. So now we can address, what do we need to do to change it? Change is so difficult, but the reality of it is majority of the people are using something. It's just tweaking those things that they're using and getting them to buy into their skin, how important it is. And I tell my clients all the time, you spend 1 hour with me a month, but you spend 29 more days with yourself. So what you do at home is so much more important than what I do. It's a system, it's a team. We do this together. So once we identify what your concerns are, then I talk to you about what you need to do to actually get to where you need to be. And it is a process.
That's good. It sounds like one of the strategies we use for uncuffing women in lives is the mind dumping technique, where you just get it all out on the table and you don't make sense of it. So it sounds like you take the similar approach. Now, as we're closing your segment down, because we want to give everyone a lot of time for questions. When I was a cop, I had to wear a gun belt. Cherie's on the front line as a nurse. She has tools. Business people that have to go out and be cashiers at this time, they have uniforms. So just tell us, what are some basic things we need in our toolkit when we're thinking about our skin to keep us uncuffed?
Basic things, 3 things. A great cleanser, because you need to take off all that makeup and you've been out and about. Exactly. A great cleanser. The second thing is a treatment. So depending on what your issues are, it may be some type of treatment that you're going to need to address those issues. And the last and final thing that a lot of people, and everyone needs this, is a great moisturizer with an SPF in the morning and a hydrating moisturizer at night, no matter what skin type you have. So those are the 3 main things that I say that everyone needs. After you've decided that you want to change and do something different, those are the 3 things that I'm going to recommend to every last client that I have.
That's good. Now, I want to give this opportunity for our other experts to see if they have questions of you, or our guests. You guys have the floor.
So Yolanda, I was thinking, like for those who don't wear makeup, some people feel like they don't have to wash their face, or they use just water to wash their face. How important is it to remove that debris from your face on a daily basis?
It is critical. It's critical because everything that you are doing throughout the day is on your face. We touch our faces unconsciously. We do all of these different things to our skin throughout the day. We're out in the elements. So removing all of that before you go to bed is essential. You have all of those things on your face throughout the day, whether you wear makeup or not. So cleansing your skin at night is essential. I always tell my clients that cleansing at night is the most important. Number one, you're going to bed, you're going to lay on those sheets, you're going to lay on your pillowcases, and all that dirt and debris is and then you have oils in your skin. So cleansing is definitely important, especially at night. Now in the morning, if you haven't done anything, unless you've been rolling around in dirt, you can get up in the morning and you can wash your face with just regular water and moisturize with an SPF. But getting all that dirt and debris off of your face from the day is the most important thing, because your skin also regenerates itself at night as well. So it's so important.
That's good.
Absolutely.
I was thinking, I wanted to find out from Yolanda. So a lot of times when people get breakouts and they have those pimples on their skin, the first thing you want to do is bust them. Talk about caring for breakouts and the do's and don'ts when it comes to that.
First leave it alone.
Now be calling me out, okay?
We weren't talking about you. We weren't talking about you, Caprice, but leave it alone. Leave it alone. I know
that's so, y'all. She's telling us so.
Yeah, it's so tempting. And then you have those people, if you're not the one picking at it, then you got those other people that's like, oh, you got a pimple, you got a pimple, you need to get rid of it. Exactly. Those nails are so dirty.
Oh my
Stay
goodness.
away from it. You know, the wonderful thing about our bodies, and I love about the skin, is we were all created to self-heal. And if we sometimes just go sit down and let it be, it will heal itself. What happens when you pop that pimple is it is just like anything else. If it's not ready to be birthed or it's not ready, it is going to cause some kind of issue. So a lot of times in our cases, when you're picking those pimples, like I said, with those little fingernails, Lord, they got all kinds of dirt and debris and things of that nature that are getting inside of that pimple after it's exposed and open. So I say leave it alone. If you must do it, if you have to do it, I can tell you how to do it safely and remove them safely outside of here. So, you know, if you want to know how to remove those pimples safely, if you want to know how, if you just got to touch it, I can teach you how to do it safely, because just going ahead and popping it, a lot of people have scars, those little dark spots, hyperpigmentation on their face because they pop pimples, and it is definitely not good. So just leave them alone as long as you can. If you can't, then get a product that's going to help with taking care of those.
And just the last thought, and you can tell me if you agree or not. Isn't it so interesting how our skin has become almost our first line of defense? All of a sudden, we can't touch it. We can't exist normally. Isn't that interesting?
Yep.
So I love that you said your nails are dirty, but just the overall beautifulness of skin. How powerful is it? You said it regenerates itself at night.
It regenerates itself at night. Yep.
And the
Yes.
skin is the largest organ that we have. So people
Absolutely.
don't really relate skin to being an organ, but it actually is the largest organ that we have.
Absolutely.
So that's why it's so
Absolutely.
important that we pamper it, nourish it, and take the best care of it. I want to know from Yolanda how to get rid of those spots, especially the lighter your skin. It seems like those spots stay forever.
They do, you know, because if you think about it, you have to, one thing that people are not doing, they're so concerned on that spot. So they're using products for that spot, but they keep forgetting that you have to cleanse, you have to exfoliate. Exfoliation takes off that top layer of skin. You need to get rid of that, because everything that you're using, if you're not exfoliating a couple times a week and not over exfoliating, if you're not exfoliating a couple, that skin is just laying there and you're putting product over top of it. And it's really not penetrating like it's supposed to. So the main thing that you want to do is get a good cleanser, exfoliate, and make sure that you know why those issues are there. They come for different reasons. So sitting down with a journal and figuring out, is it food related? Sitting down with a journal to figure out if it's something that you did to it, or pop those pimples could have caused it as well. So just finding out why it's there before you try to treat it is the most important thing.
That's good. Awesome. So guys, we are so privileged to have you here, Yolanda. How can we stay connected?
So I am on Facebook as Yovette's Everything's Beauty. I will tag that into the Facebook Live page so you guys have it. You can email me at Yovette's Everything Beauty. And all of you guys who are already my friends on my Facebook page, you can always instant message me or DM me, as they say, with any questions that you may have. You can also ask questions on this page, because I will be going through and messaging you with any questions, concerns, comments that you may have. So
that's awesome. It is so much fun having you here. Listen, if you are listening and you're following the page and you have a wonderful platform, we want to hear from you. Come on and be a part of this Uncuffed Women's Tribe. It's a tribal thing.
Absolutely.
We speak our tribal language, and that is uncuffing in your life, your business, and your legacies. And I'm going to tell you how powerful it is when you have people that you can say, hey girl, what do you think about this? And the answer is always yes. Why? Because you gotta handle your business. You gotta be about your business before people will recognize you as a business. So our next guest is none other than Miss Chere Goode, the branding and business recharge strategist. Oh, girl, just go ahead. You got the floor.
Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Chere M. Goode, the Recharge Strategist. I am the founder CEO of Total Harmony Enterprises. I'm a #1 best-selling international author, speaker, and wellness advocate. I've been dubbed the Recharge Strategist because I teach women, professional women, the necessity of self-care. It's an obligation. It's the most important obligation that we have to ourselves, and it's a daily effort. It's not something we can do just on a weekly or an annual time frame like we do a vacation. It needs to be something that we're doing daily. And why? Because when we're performing that self-care, we're gaining more clarity, we're gaining more focus, we're decreasing our stress and anxiety, we are improving our overall health and wellness. And last but not least, we're decreasing that waistline because stress comes along with weight gain. And we want those skinty waists, right, ladies? So we have to manage our stress effectively. And what better way to do that than to perform self-care every single day? And that journey looks different for every single person. My blueprint for self-care is totally different than what Caprice or Marla or Yolanda's may be. So that's where it comes into you knowing who you are, what makes you tick, honing into the real person that you are, so that mentally, physically, emotionally, you can nurture yourself every day.
That's awesome. Now, Cherie, you have done a great job of neatly packaging the many things that you're involved in. And someone listening may be a bit confused and even afraid to try something new, to start a new business because they don't know, what will I call it? How will I do this? Speak to one, having hired very professional ones, high end, and then being one yourself. Speak to mentorship and coaching.
Oh my goodness. So everybody needs a coach. I have a coach. You have to have someone who's going to push you and elevate you to the next level. So otherwise, we would all be walking around scared. Fear is, that uncertainty. It's just things that you don't know what's going to happen. And so, how many of us have ever had things that we regretted not trying in our lives, right? Every single one of us. We've had that one thing that we like, oh, I wish I would have. Well, that's the purpose of diving into whatever it is that you feel like you're passionate about or that you feel like you're an expert at, because all you can do is fail, right? What other options do we have? You're not going to die if you fail. It's not the end of the world. And so many people are walking around afraid to actually tap into their god-given talents and their gifts to present it to the world. But until you try, you'll never know, right? So don't be afraid to fail. Failure just is a step towards where you really want to be. So every time you fail, you say, ha ha, that wasn't it. Next time, I got something new this time. So don't quit. That's one thing that's important. Make sure that you are consistent, because consistency is big on whatever you may be trying. If you fail, it's okay. We've all had failures, but it's not the end of the world. Get up, brush yourself off, and go on to the next big thing.
That's awesome. And part of being a woman uncuffed is not to bury your head in the sand and ignore the world, but
Right.
you're on the front line. You're still managing your business amidst being one of the front lines. So speak to that. What tools do you have in your kit or in your belt that gives you the tenacity just to get up and keep going?
Well, first of all, you have to have a schedule. So if you are not organized and you don't have a schedule and you don't strategically map out when you're going to do what, you're setting yourself up for failure. So, have an open and close time for your business. That's important. So my hours are 9 to 5. Remember the movie, y'all? My hours are 9 to 5. So actually have hours that your business opens and closes. You're not going to just walk into some of these other big establishments anytime you want at 1 or 2 in the morning. So don't allow your clients to reach out to you and have contact with you at that time frame, unless they're paying you the big bucks. Then we want to talk about that later. But for the most part, have an open and close time, have a schedule. Make sure that you are taking me time. Make sure you're giving yourself that lunch break, because if you're just working, 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 and not performing self-care and not taking breaks, you're going to burn out. And then you're going to forget the real reason why you started your business or your journey. You're going to feel like, oh, is it all worth it? Because let's face it, in the beginning, you don't make a lot of money in business. It could take years and years, sometimes 10, 15, 20 years before you see the money that you really want to make in a business. So you have to be resilient. You have to be willing to be in this for the long haul. So having a schedule, making sure you're taking breaks, learning how to say no to others, to say yes to yourself is very important. And remembering that every client is not your client. So be strategic about who you work with and what you invite into your business world.
Awesome. Now, it's interesting you bring that point up because also we know that everyone wants the stage without the struggle, right? They see the wins and they want to show up and just, I can do it too. I can do it better than her. You probably could have, but could you have done it better than me 15 years ago when I started birthing this baby, right? So I want you to touch on, because someone out there is seeing everyone win but them, right? They're seeing everyone have their moment in the spotlight but them. So tell me, if you could narrow down just three things that every woman must have when she's thinking about building her business and brand.
You must have a headshot.
Yeah.
A headshot is one of them. Okay, so if I'm contacting you for an opportunity and you're not ready, I'm going to move on to the next person. So you have to be ready so you don't have to get ready. I get that from my coach, Cheryl Wood. She said you have to be ready so you don't have to get ready. When somebody calls you, how long does it take you to just send them a message? If somebody contacts me and say, hey, I need your headshot, guess what? Boom, it's right there in their inbox, in their messenger, in their email right away. You should be able to put your finger on that within seconds. The next thing you need is a bio, a well-written bio. Have a short version and have a long version of your bio, because sometimes you have a limitation on the words that can be used. So a headshot, a bio, and have a strategic plan for your business. Know what it is that you do. So often people confuse a lot of different businesses and they boggle them all together. Know which business you're focused on for each opportunity. So as the Recharge Strategist, I have one spill. As the Mary Kay lady, I have a different spill. And then for my other businesses that I have another spill. So you have to separate your businesses. Don't boggle it all up together, because people will be confused by your brand. Right. So it's okay to advertise them, but advertise them separately.
Perfect. And then when you're thinking about branding, hashtags was the 2019, 2018. That was the hashtag. In this coronavirus, when you hear everything is coronavirus attached or related, how does a woman make her brand continue to stand out without appearing to be nonchalant?
Remain consistent to your brand. So whatever you're talking about, it should always go back to your brand. So if I'm talking about the coronavirus, because it's prevalent, that's what people want to hear right now. And by me being a nurse and being in healthcare, I have to mention it. But I always talk about how can I perform self-care to prevent the coronavirus. So always bring it back to your brand and stay relevant in your brand. Like I liked how Yolanda talked about how we're constantly touching our faces. Well, what is the one thing they say about the coronavirus? Avoid hand contact with your face. So if Yolanda were to bring up in a post or something on social media about the coronavirus, I would expect her to say something like, remember, your girl Yolanda teaches to keep your hands out of your face. It's still relevant to her brand. Right. It's still relevant to her brand, but she's still staying current with current events. So it's okay, but don't just go all the way off the deep end. Talk about like we are talking about like recharging. When I talk about recharging, and we're talking about our immune systems. So hey, perform self-care through nutrition. I'm doing healthy cooking videos. That's going to help you to boost your immune system and stay healthy, even though we're in a global pandemic.
That's good. And one of the things too, and then I'll give Yolanda and Marla a chance to ask questions. One of the things too we do with the Women Uncuffed tribe is we let our people know that it's not just about the business, right? You can't come in a room unless you have an established business of your own, an established tribe, and you're willing to share those things. Absolutely. Talk about how do you share your resources and collaborate without losing your identity?
Well, I always say, you know what? People can be carbon copies all day, but no one can do it like you. So there are a lot of people that teach self-care. I am not intimidated by that, because we all are going to teach it a different way. Absolutely. Someone else may teach self-care that's geared towards women. Somebody else may teach self-care geared towards moms. Somebody may do men in self-care. So everybody has their own niche, their own gift. So collaborate with those people. I say don't be intimidated. Collaborate, and let's see what we can learn from each other and make both our brands better. So exactly. I think that sometimes in business, people just get so caught up in, oh, she stole my stuff, or she said what I said. No, they're words. It's a dictionary. There are so many words in a dictionary.
You probably didn't make them up either.
And I didn't make the dictionary. So my thing is, unless they are using my branded names that I have actually nestled down for my brand, if somebody else comes as the Recharge Strategist, we're going to have a conversation. But we can have a conversation. But if they use the word recharge, that's not my word. What can I say? There are commercials on TV that say recharge. So let's stop being so picky about like, oh, she said my word, or she said, just reach out to that person and say, hey, how can we collaborate? I see we have some common interests. I see that our businesses do a lot of the same things. Let's get together and let's do an event like this together. Absolutely. So, don't focus on that. Just stay in your lane, Some people are all over the place. They're like the weather. They change up every other month.
We
You don't
talked
know what they do from day to day. So just stay consistent, stay in your lane, stay true to your brand, and you don't have to worry about anybody else doing what you do. It doesn't matter because they're not you.
That's good. And Marla and Yolanda, you can ask the questions now. I want you, before you finish, Cherie, talk about opportunities, media opportunities. Yolanda, you guys have any questions for Cherie?
I do. I love the word recharge, as she said. So I'm going to talk about that aspect because as I call myself a therapist. So as a therapist myself, and you're a nurse, can you explain to people and talk to people about how important it is to recharge themselves to be able to give back to everyone else that they're taking care of?
Absolutely. So my favorite saying is you can't pour from an empty cup. If your cup is empty, you can't give to anybody else. So first you have to nurture yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. If you're drained, why would anybody want to listen to you? Number one. So you can't pour from an empty cup. So it's important that every single day that you reboot, you recharge your own batteries, reset, whatever word you want to use. But think about your gadgets. So I always use this analogy about our cell phones and our computers. We would never ever think to let those batteries die out, right? So if we get that message, you have 15% life left on your battery, we are running around, scrambling, going to the nearest McDonald's,
Yes.
Starbucks. We will talk to a complete stranger and say, hey, you got a plug for an
You
iPhone?
gotta.
You have an Android plug. You don't know this person.
That is so true.
But you will make a new best friend
Yes.
because this is your lifeline and you don't want it to die out. Why don't we have that same sense of urgency when it comes to recharging and rebooting our own internal batteries? So, in order to be 100, we have to put the work in. You have to make sure you're getting that proper rest, eating nutritious meals, getting enough sleep, making sure you're staying hydrated, as Yolanda said. So, all of those things play a role in your overall health. It's not just one piece. We're a three-part puzzle as humans. We have mind, body, and spirit. If any part of that puzzle is bent, missing, broke, think about a real puzzle. When you're putting it together and that one piece is missing, you don't get the full picture, right? Something's missing. So that's the same thing with us, but everybody's puzzle is different. The piece that's missing in my puzzle may be a different piece missing out of your puzzle. So it's up to us to do the self work, the self care every day, working on that part of us, mind, body, or spirit that needs the most work to get to where we want to be 100%.
And that's good. And
Love it.
in our
Yes.
Uncuff trial, we definitely focus on the self work first before you can start. And part of
Mhm.
that is knowing who you're supposed to help. So that was a great question, Yolanda. Marla, did you have something?
I did for Cherie. So I always believe that in your business and in your personal life and through your relationships, that it should be some type of common theme running through um, those all three of those things. Like, how important do you think that is? Because even with myself, um, it it just increases your belief factor. It increases your audience. Confidence, their confidence in you. They tend to look at you as, walking the talk. So how do you feel about that? Because I think it's great that you do self-care, and you're a nurse. So that's like, wow, so people already look to you as an authoritative, figure in that area when it comes to wellness.
That's good, Marla.
Yeah, that's a good question, Marla. So it is very important. I'm big on that as well, and I think that balance is the word that we all have to just remember. You have to have balance in everything, and the big part is that if you're performing self care, 9 times out of 10, it's going to filter over to the rest of the people in your family that's around you. But I've gotten checked by my family many days. Be like, I'm going to perform self care. Self care. They'll check me if I'm not respecting their boundaries for self-care. And so it's a constant reminder when you teach that and you want to walk the walk, so to say, people will check you and they will remind you even in your family. But definitely has to be balanced in all areas of life, because if business is not right, it can filter over into your home life. If home life is not right, you're not 100% with your business. So being balanced in all areas is very, very important, and knowing when sometimes you got to shut the business down to focus on the family side of it. So definitely being focused, being
Absolutely.
balanced is important. But yes, I definitely agree that they are intertwined because you're one person. You just have many roles and many hats that you play when you're in business or when you're working. So I have many roles because I'm a caregiver, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a nurse, I'm a business owner. So you have to know how to take breaks in between each role that you play and make sure that you are walking that line. And if not, have people in your corner that's going to check you when you're not.
Yes.
You know what's interesting to me is it's you got to talk about the media opportunities and the multiple streams of income for your business. But this is where I want you to go right now. I want you to talk a little bit about being able to recognize being balanced isn't perfect, because there are many times in our lives where I know my kids don't always act right. I don't always act right, right? So what happens when everything is imploding, falling apart, but you've established and put your heart into branding and business, and you have a television appearance tomorrow, right? So talk about those media opportunities and multiple streams of income, and just wind it down in your last few moments.
Let me tell you, well, with anything with business, you have to be willing to sacrifice. So a lot of sacrifice comes with it. Sometimes you may want to go and have fun with friends, even though right now we're in quarantine or whatever. But before this, you may want to go out and may want to have fun, but you have to have, again, that balance that you're talking about to know, look, I got to shut it down because I don't want to have bags that I need to see Yolanda to fix for my show tomorrow that I have to
Right.
do. And remember, you are your brand. So when you're walking around, when you're being other places, you have to remember that you are your brand. People are looking at you even when you think they're not looking at
Ain't
you.
judging.
So remember, you are always on camera.
Ah,
You are
absolutely.
always on camera. So,
Absolutely.
it's not perfect. You're right. And sometimes people look for perfection in people that are speakers and in business, but sometimes we have to just let that business side down, let people see you as a person. So it's like
Mhm.
that 80-20 rule that everybody talk about. 80% of what you post on your social media should be about your business. But
Yeah.
20% people want to know that you're real. They want to know that you're
Mhm.
human. They want to know that you're imperfect too, that you fall,
Exactly.
but you got back up. So that's why we write our books about our imperfections. We let the world into our lives, but definitely balancing it out, knowing that nobody is perfect. So let some of the imperfections show. It's actually going to draw more clients to you because they're like, wow, she's real. Like,
Right.
she's not
Mhm.
putting up a facade. Who she is who she is. If she act crazy at this place, she crazy all the time. Whatever. If she's silly and quirky, she's not putting on a facade that, oh, I'm this perfect. Yes, I am Sheree. I'm good.
Mhm.
The recharge
But they know
strategist.
it's not.
No, let your hair down. Let people see the real you, and that's going to draw them to you more.
And then
Yeah.
you don't have to remember how to show up, because if people are 9 times out of 10, if someone says something about me to you, they were not lying. So typically, when you put the self work in, you don't have to change up. But I just can't tell you how humbling it is to have you here, and just to thank you so much. I do want to say to anyone who's listening or will be listening, this is what we do at the Uncuffed Women's Colloquium. If you have a powerful message and you want to help us uncuff women in their lives, in their businesses, in their legacies, come on. You are stopping you. We will never stop you. This is a
Absolutely.
prerequisite. You got to pop on. You've learned some great traits. I'm going to check the page to see if there are any questions. But Cherie, how can we follow you? How can we keep up with you?
Oh my goodness. See, I was hydrating because Yolanda told me to hydrate. That's me. I was drinking my
Yeah,
water.
me
She
too.
told me
Let
with
me
my
get
mouth
some
closed.
water. Let me get some
Yes,
water.
Liz, you
water break,
always
water
on
break,
camera.
water break,
You're
water
always on
break.
camera. You see that? So I have a free gift for everybody that's tuned in. So if you visit totalharmonyenterprises.com, totalharmonyenterprises.com, and you sign up for my monthly newsletter, it's free. You'll get a free gift immediately. And we change our freebies every month. So we will be changing our freebie for the month of April, but right now we still have Marches in there. So we change with our newsletter. So when the new newsletter comes out, the new freebie comes out. So that'll be in the next week. And on social media, I am at Chere M Goode on all your social media platforms.
Awesome. And just go ahead and post that in the page. This is really good insight. And we're going to shift right to someone that I'm just a huge fan of. I'm so in love with her. Let's give Cherie and Yolanda a round of applause, guys. They are doing a wonderful.
Woo!
Before I shift it to our next guest, I just want to say for me, it was important. This lineup was important for the first spring virtual series, because we needed to hear how to recharge. We needed to know drink water, take care of your skin. And we also need to know what confidence means in our business paths, right? So this young lady is just so phenomenal at connecting tribes and us all winning together. And for that, I'll always be a fan. One of the things we do under our Women Uncuffing is we stay ready. We call it ready alert, just like we're about to fight. You know how you're about to fight, you're ready alert. Because
Mhm.
we stay ready, we can
Right.
easily shift and push out an Uncuffed Women's Colloquium Spring Virtual, right? It doesn't take 10 weeks to figure it out. It's done the next day. So this is what it looks like when you have begun to build your legacy. So as I bring you in, Marla, I want you to talk about those piggyback on that multiple streams of income. And what is a curvy evolutionist? We need to know about that. And who cares if you're confident? Talk to us.
All right. So the curvy evolutionist is a curvy woman who can evolve and is considered a relationship builder. That's what I do. So in order for you to be a relationship builder, you have to have that confidence. You have to have people who believe in you. You have to walk the talk, as I said earlier. But before I get into that, let me give a little introduction. So in the midst of all of this COVID-19, I do work for the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, where we are setting the pace for you guys, for everybody in the United States, setting the regulations and policies for the hospitals and everything. So it's quite a lot for our agency. We're taking a big hit right now, but we stay in focus and trying to make those decisions without creating, that red tape and everything for everybody. So this is really unprecedented times, and we're looking for everybody just to cooperate. So I take my hat off to all the frontliners, because they are so important right now, from the grocery store workers to the nurses like Chere and the doctors and everything. So mail, moving, all of that. But when I take that hat off, I'm also a future sales director with Mary Kay. And, woo -woo, and I am a Smooches brand ambassador for Curvy Women and Smooches Women magazine. So through all of those avenues, it's really important to really connect with people and create those real helpful and meaningful relationships. And to do that, you need lots of confidence, and you can build it. We are not born with confidence, but we can build it. So some of us may feel like our confidence has been beaten down to the ground, from a crisis or a health issue or just life in general. So we all have a sense of failure when things don't seem to work out. And it's okay for you to feel that way temporarily. Like, a lot of us will, kind of be like, oh man, I wish it would have worked out, but it didn't. And their confidence takes a hit, but the important thing is not to stay there. And that's what I have learned to do over the years, working with a lot of women, working and building relationships, and sometimes it gets hard. Sometimes you have to end relationships that's not working for you, but you have to continue to push forward. So you acknowledge what has happened, right? You pout, you scream, you do whatever it takes at that moment to make you feel better. However, the thing with women is we have to learn how to move on. So how can we do better? How can we prevent that from happening next time? Is there something I could have did differently? But all of those roles all of those things play a major role in building your confidence. And the minute that you do it and you move forward, your confidence level bumps up, each time. So I'm gonna give you guys 5 steps that you can do right now that can reclaim your confidence really fast. It's not difficult. It's something that you can do today. A lot of people feel like, I can't get past this, but you really can. And it's all in your mind. It's all pertaining to, the events that took place. Because some things it's going to take you a while to get over. Especially if you get hit, your confidence get hit really hard. You're like, oh, that was a gut punch, right? Which is how I felt initially when it's COVID-19.
Oh my God, you're right.
It was like a gut punch. I mean, not to my confidence, just to my being in general. Like, now my health is at jeopardy. Now my business may suffer. Now and I can't get to work, so it's all of these things, but you have to learn how to pivot. And that's what we're doing in our businesses. So building your confidence, the first thing you need to do is to set goals. And I tell people, you hear this all the time. However, you have to set a high goal, like dream big, for real. Dream big. When I mean reach for the pie in the sky, reach for the pie in the sky. Because guess what? If you don't make it, you're going to hit so many along the way. It's going to blow your mind. So I tell everybody, don't come up with a goal that you can meet. You can do that in your sleep, because they play it safe. And when you play it safe, you're not growing. Right. So I tell people, don't set a whole bunch of them. 3 is good. 3. Look, I can't
Well,
count
Marla,
the
I have a
years.
question for you, Marla. I have a question.
Yes.
So talk to everybody about how important appearance is in confidence building. So I think that a lot of women in particular need to hear that because if you look good, you feel good. Talk to us about building confidence through your appearance because you know I be looking at them heels and dresses you be having on.
Absolutely. Image is everything. Oh my goodness. Y'all see I'm in this closet, right? I'm in my dressing room. Y'all see this, right? So first, a lot of people, they don't really understand what their image is. They're like, okay, how can I line this up with what I'm doing, right? Of course, the business dress is always, that never plays out. However, if you're building a brand, or as part of your brand, you want to bring that and bring a part of that into your image. So you don't always want to like a blue suit, you know what I'm saying? Look, pop some color, girl. For real, it's not right. Absolutely. It says about you when you add color. It's like, hey, here I am. Notice me. And when you add those types of things to your image, your business thrives because people will become interested. It's like when you wear a conversation piece. And I tell everybody, if you are trying to network, you need to put on a conversation piece. That conversation piece is going to lead you all through the whole night. You know what I'm saying? You do need an image, and there's tons of people can help you. There's tons of stylists out there that can help you with your image. If it's something that you feel like, well, that's not me, it has to be you, whether you create it or, it comes within, or you're like, I'm just going to be my own natural, but people going to know you as own natural,
Right.
After getting back to what Capri said, and Cherie, you said it earlier, you have to be consistent.
Yes.
With your image. Don't come out there one day and they was like, she looks like somebody's grandmother. Like, A, B, or C.
Back, bro. Please say it again.
Like somebody's grandma. Like, yesterday, girl, you was fly. What happened? So you have to be consistent. If you are into, for us, the beauty industry, then you need to be wearing your product. I can't tell you got skincare on sometimes. It has to show through some other means, whether you enhance it with cosmetics or your skin is super clear where everybody's like, yeah, she's an esthetician or she's a makeup artist or she's into the beauty industry. How many of you guys have seen hairdressers and their hair's never done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like, it makes me cringe. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And then I see some hair salon owners, or hairstylists, and it's always late. You know what I'm saying? So you have to just be consistent. That's what I would, say through the most part. If you're trying to create an image, be that and believe in it yourself. Don't let somebody else create that for you.
Well, Marla, I wanted you to touch on, if you could, legacy. Like, what does it mean to build a legacy? For example, one of the things that Dr. Phil always says is be the star in your own show. Everyone knows that is my mantra, right?
Yes. Yes.
Sarah.
Nobody can use that yet. Tell them, what does that have to do with legacy building?
Right. So legacy building means that you want to leave whatever you have created to someone else that will carry that on. Somebody can benefit from your work, somebody who can carry that and help someone else. And sometimes we feel like people try to monetize it, like, oh, I'm leaving it this, but it's really more powerful than money. It's more powerful than anything tangible. Sometimes people need hope. Sometimes people need encouragement, and if you could give them an avenue for any of that stuff, then you already built your legacy.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily have to be, for your kids, because some people, when they think of legacy, they think of their children, which is true, but it could be for so many more people. And do it while you're still here. You can do it after you leave this earth, but it doesn't have to be necessarily tangible. Legacy is a belief in something. It's something that you can carry on way past after you leave here. Any people can benefit from it. I think it's so important. So, I'm building mine right now. I feel like so many women lose that in their business when they're trying to come up with a concept, or they're halfway into it and they was like, I don't know about this. You have to believe in it yourself. Who's going to follow you? Who's going to buy from you? Who's going to take advantage of the service that you have to offer if you don't even believe in it yourself?
And Molly, you know what? I think you actually have a question. So we're going to give that person
Okay,
next question.
awesome.
So it's on the live feed. It says, what are some good tips to maintain your image during COVID-19 pandemic?
Oh, that's a good one. Woohoo. So what we can do, of course, we're in the beauty industry. So, you know, first you have to take care of your skin. You need to hydrate. The first thing, of course, is wellness before any of that. A lot of us are active, and now we basically have come to a halt in or trying to come up with something else. Like, how can we stay active? And for me, like, people laugh, but I say I go outside, you know, every day to I need some fresh air. I don't care if I have to lift my window up and stick my head out the window. Let me get a little bit of vitamin D from the sun. You know, you need the fresh air. You need that wellness piece first. And then you can move into, you know, the other pieces, like, how do I feel? And it's funny because, you know, I got up, you know, I put my full makeup on, I put my lashes on. I do all of the stuff like I'm going nowhere but to the back door. But it creates, you know, a sense of fulfillment for you because you feel like, you know, if, for instance, if you go X amount of days without you getting dressed, combing your hair, you know, you just become complacent. And then when it is time for you to go, what you gonna do? I don't feel like it. I don't want to put on no clothes. You know, so you don't want to get in that space. So you want to create things that you can do now, continue on, not, you know, you're not going to be in your total regimen right now that you normally would do when we were out and about, but you can do things in your home, just like we're doing right now with this virtual, you know, intensive. Like, we really can do a lot connecting to other people, you know, through this media where we can exercise still, we can cook healthy meals. I was watching Chere yesterday with her mushrooms and onions. It's so many things that, you know, this platform has created for us where we won't feel like we're by ourselves and we can connect with other people and feel that wellness piece, and we can play dress up. We can go in the other room and feel like, okay, I can't go out, but you know, I can look fabulous in my house. Absolutely. So I encourage everybody to eat well, you know, still keep up your hygiene like you would do, you know, if you had to go out every day, you know, drink your water.
Yeah, you know what, Marla, all of that combats depression too, because right now the rates for depression are skyrocketing.
Oh my God, I can imagine.
The suicide rate is skyrocketing right now because people are just anxious, they're depressed. So I love the point that you made about making sure you keep that daily routine. That's gonna help combat that. Make sure you get outside, get that vitamin D, so it can boost your mood, and also you know, help you prevent some respiratory diseases, because if your vitamin D levels are low, you're more predisposed to respiratory illnesses.
And you know what else too along the lines of that, and Marla, what do you think about this? We talk about releasing those mental handcuffs all the time, and you're strengthening your mental muscle as like you have to strengthen your physical muscle.
Absolutely.
So I know you've been following, like a lot of the listeners, the 24-day uncuffing challenge. It's just a virtual mind dumping training you on all the ways it takes you to get to a certain point, right? But what I want you to talk about is, how do you do it in a way that it doesn't upset your tribe and your world, because you're really good at keeping it moving, right?
Right.
How do you tell the ladies that are listening, how do they do that?
Okay, so you have to be open. That's what I tell people. You have to be open-minded, like not too quick to anger. And it really comes down to doing what I call self-assessment, because a lot of us will feel like we be in a certain way to other people and we're not. So we have our idea of ourselves, right? The people have an idea of us. But guess what? When you merge them together, that's like the bomb. That's incredible. So now you have your own beliefs and you have what people perceive in you. So you just add to that. So when people tell you things, or you may not agree with a particular statement that was made, or an idea is going to the left that you feel, you won't feel so compelled to respond. Everything doesn't require a response.
Oh,
We can learn from everybody,
Absolutely.
necessarily. And I see a lot of stuff online, and some of the stuff I agree, and some of it I may not, but it's okay. I'm not going to, like, some people will go in on a subject matter and they have no idea, of the background or anything. They just shooting from the hip. It just creates that negativity, and we don't want to stay there. We want to keep it positive, especially in this time. We need to really keep it positive. So that's what you do. You keep an open mind. You tell, okay, I wouldn't do that, but if she feels that way, fine. If that's the idea or that's the avenue they want to take, it's okay for them. Because I'm very good at staying in my lane.
Yes.
You know what I always say? I say if it's not going to matter 5 years down the line, don't waste 5 minutes on it.
that's good.
Thank you.
Amen.
Yes.
I like that.
You know what another good one is? If you gotta say it to yourself first. Before you say
Right.
it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Marla, I got one quick question for you, Marla. I want you to talk to, it's more of a statement than a question, but I want you to talk to, because of you, I am also a smooches model as well. I want you to talk to some of our curvy girls out there about what the smooches model did for you as far as your confidence is concerned, and how that can be helpful.
Absolutely. So I became a smooches model back in 2016. Same year I became brand ambassador, but it was basically 6 months later. But I felt like I always could connect with people, so that part wasn't hard. It was like certain duties. Like it gave me a sense of patience, because working with women takes a lot. Okay. And that patience built my confidence, because I was like, okay, this person is gonna fly off the handle, but I'm just gonna let her blow up, and then I'll come back later, because you always have that one person who they say, you go talk to him. That person, I'm that person.
That's Marla.
Right. You go talk to that person, so I have to listen. I'm a very good listener. So, whatever the issue is, we can work it out later. So you have to allow women to vent, so to speak.
And Marla, I hate to jump in, but we have another question, and then we're
Okay,
going to
great.
So, Danya, if you're able to hear me, go ahead and ask your question, or type it, and then we can.
She typed it in already. She said, "How are you ladies maintaining your social being, not being able to spend quality time with friends?" And I can answer that if you
Let's
want.
You go.
follow the floor, and then Cherie can go, and then wind it down. So we don't
Okay. So I've been actually maintaining pretty good through social media, through Zoom. Like, I'm using all the platforms because we have to use them, for work as well. So most of my people I can talk to and see. Now, some of them I can't. So you know what I do? I call, which is one of the things that you should do anyway, especially if you're in business. People don't want to feel abandoned. So you have to reach out to them. I've been checking on everybody, people that I normally don't talk to every day, but I do talk to them, a couple times a month. So I've been calling everybody, sending emails, doing the FaceTime thing, getting on Zoom or Facebook Live, long as some form of communication, I'm good. Like, this is really hard for me because I'm an extrovert. So I'm feeling like, I had a really bad anxiety that first week. The first week I had to work from home, because I'm used to only working from home 2 days a week, but the 5 days, I was like, okay, I can't see people,
Yeah.
But this is helping. This social media platform is really helping me, as an extrovert, because I'm one of the people like hanging out. I like to be out in your face.
Me too. Me too.
Smelling your breath.
Me too.
Yes. And then Cherie can pop in real quick.
Yeah, I'm an extrovert too. So the good part is I'm still on the front line, so I still get to leave home. But it's social distancing, not social absence. So again, like
Absolutely.
Marla said, get on social media, do FaceTime calling your friends, call some people up that you haven't heard from in a while. And especially now is the time to be extra interested in people because we don't know who's sick, who has the coronavirus, who doesn't. So call
Absolutely.
people and just ask them how they're doing, FaceTime them, get on Zoom calls like we're on here. So this is actually
Yeah.
socialization, even though we're doing a presentation for everybody else, it's still
Right.
socialization. I know last night when we were prepping, we all had a good time just laughing. So get some
Mhm.
laughter, put some laughter in it.
All right, Yolanda, any last words, and I'll close it on out.
So for me, it's been a little tough. I'm an extrovert. Plus, what I do is personal. I haven't been able to see my clients. I haven't been able to go to work. So it has been really tough. But like Cherie said, just getting and Marla, just getting on these Zooms and staying abreast with social media and talking to you guys. Create little girls. Zoom chats. Little girls parties, and we can all sit around in the house and talk to each other and things like that. But stay connected. One of the things Marla said that I will piggyback on is stay positive. In this, everything is definitely serious, but we can stay positive and find the positive out of all of this because we don't understand it now. But at some point in time, we will. So I just encourage everybody to just stay positive, stay safe, keep your hands out your keep,
One more minute.
keep
I
your
gotta
hands
close it
out.
out. Gotta close it out properly. All right. So listen, you've been in tune, and we can stay on, but I gotta close out. Time, decency and order.
Mhm.
We have been listening and participating in the Uncuffed Women's Colloquium. It's an annual event. We've turned it to a spring virtual because there was a need. So, as motivators, educators, and trainers, we fill that need first, right? And we make sure our buckets are full. Remember, we're not filling from an empty bucket. The thing that you have to remember is be creative about how you connect. My neighbors
Yes.
and I have coffee in the morning. We stay on our own decks and we chitty chatty. Hey, Trevette, I see you. My first lady, she has a pajama party schedule where we're all coming together virtually to talk about nothing, just to connect. So, from the women uncuffing standpoint, I'm telling you and I'm begging you, use this time to write your book, use this time to start your own teleseries, use this time to extract what's inside of you that can help someone else. When I write, when I speak, I always feel like I've touched a million people. It may not all be today, but it's coming because I'm leaving those thumbprints behind. Everywhere you go, you
Yeah.
take something away and you leave something
Yeah.
behind. And what we're going to do on this platform is train you guys on how to do that. We have an amazing lineup coming up. These girls are going to come back. So we just want you to invite everyone and to share. And before I leave today, I want to remind you guys of the 24-day uncuffing challenge where you could win a free book. We promise giveaways. We're going to give it, but you're going to have to do something for them. Yep. You
Yay.
hear at least 3 times before you're entered into a contest, and each one of tonight's speakers is going to post their giveaways on the event page. You thought I was going to tell you. You should know better than that. Work for it. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all next time.
See you guys later.
All right, ladies, let me close out the meeting, and if we want to pop back in, we can.
Okay.